What? Hold on. I just want 1 minute. My finger. What day is it? Today is Friday, the 2nd of August. That means. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Fuck. 69 more days. Just trying to turn the knob the wrong way. Fuck. I haven't exercised in like 3 or 4 days. I've given up on jogging. I just walk once or twice around the block and I just feel like I have other things to do. But one of those things is fixing my fucking motorcycle dolly or whole storage system. So, yes, let's get this going. Let's get this going. So, okay. I have a car, I have a motorcycle. I park my motorcycle in front of my car. There is a concrete barrier in front of my car that is 2 feet away from the wall that is in front of my car. My previous motorcycle was very small, and I could pick it up, the back end. It was a 250. I could pick up the back end and scoot it. So if there was a car parked on my right and parked on my left, I could still park it in front of my car, in front of the concrete barrier. My new motorcycle, that I've had for 4 years, is heavier and I can't do that. And it's a little longer, so if someone is parked to my left, I can't just roll it forward and around, and if someone's parked to my right, I can't get it between the car to my right and the concrete barrier and park it in there. So the ground is also, it's uneven. It's a paved parking lot. It's a little uneven. You know, it's not like a smooth warehouse floor. And then I've got there used to be a sign, so there's a weird cut-off post with a little mound, about 3/4 of an inch of concrete around it. That's in the mix. So the dolly, almost all motorcycle dollies are almost entirely designed to be used on smooth concrete warehouse-style floors, like smooth. They all have pretty much universally 2-inch wheels, hard plastic, and when you have an uneven surface, it gets stuck on any little tiny little rock. And you can't really, and I've got to spin my fucking thing to get around this concrete barrier, and I don't want to hit a rock and have the whole thing go, oh! And then I've got, so what I opted to do was build a little ramp and like a miniature platform of just plywood, just so it's smooth. It's all on plywood, and I used OSB. And it's just ugly, and I had to connect multiple pieces of OSB together with like a mending plate and some screws. And of course, the screws for that small, I used pan head, which I shouldn't have. But really, anything probably would have fucked up because it's still going to stick up. Because even if you're using a bugle head screw, it's still going to stick up because the mending plate is 1/16 of an inch. So it's not, there's no little beveled circled thing. So I'm screwed anyway. But then I got a little ramp and it's plywood, and it's like you gotta make sure you don't fall off the plywood because you gotta lift the thing up. So was it yesterday? I may have started this journey on Wednesday, but maybe it was yesterday. Trying to make a new ramp, a new system. So I got some pressure treated plywood, switched the directions. I don't have any mending plate things. It's still a little lumpy. There's still a chance of it falling off. And then I try to get new casters. And the new casters, I bought some 3-inch ones to replace the 2-inch ones. The holes of the plate of the caster, because I didn't want any threaded stems, they don't line up with the previous holes, of course not. And it looks like no casters that can be commercially bought are either the exact same or have a similar hole design. So I was like, well, maybe I'll just drill them out. Although it's like, maybe it's not 1/4-inch steel. It's thick fucking steel, and it's a pain in the goddamn ass. And then some of the casters were still hitting, so that means I need to like put a little buffer plate or like a bunch of washers or something. And then if I get anything other than a 2-inch caster, the way the dolly works, you have a little ramp to get onto the dolly because it sits, I don't know, there's a 2-inch dolly, and then the whole thing, the whole dolly itself, 2-inch caster, and then the dolly, maybe it's up an inch, I don't know. But there's a ramp locking thing that lifts the whole dolly off the casters by just a bit, by like 1/16 of an inch. But if I have larger casters, that whole ramp locking thing won't work because it won't be able to lift the dolly off the ground because the caster is too big. So now that won't work. So what I've concluded is, well, what I was gonna do at some point in this whole mix, I'm just gonna replace the caster wheels. Couldn't find replacements, and I was gonna make a mold of the ones I have and redo them and make them a little bigger, but then I realized the figure wouldn't work. So where I'm at now is I am 3D printing some blocks to go under the caster support plates that are in the dolly, 3/4 of an inch, and I have some 5-inch casters. They're fucking huge, but they're big. But that will allow, and they're like not soft rubber, but any little inconsistency in the ground will hopefully be dealt with because it won't be like a super hard. It's like when you drive over something with your car. It just sort of goes. There's a little give, I hope. And the 3/4-inch block creates enough space for this larger wheel to spin underneath the dolly. And then all I need to figure out is how to get the bike up onto it. And each of the casters has brakes, so I don't need the ramping mechanism to also operate as a brake. So I should just be able to make any kind of ramp. Should be completely fine. And that's what I've been dealing with all day. And I talked to a realtor in St. Louis, Missouri. There's a mansion there. It's 200 years old. 3-story plus a basement. Almost 6,000 square feet. Total lot size, about 1.3 acres. $200,000. I could buy. It's like my dream. My dream from when I first saw Fight Club. To live in a dilapidated mansion. Problem is that the neighborhood is absolute shit. And I don't want to buy a shitty house in a shitty neighborhood and then become the best house. I want to buy a shitty house in a nice neighborhood and then just fit in. But man, like that's the realtor. I was like, yo, hey, why has this not been sold? What am I missing? Like, well, it's in worse shape than what the pictures show. No one's used it for 4 years. Homeless people moved in. And then a security system was put in, and then the homeless people broke back in and smashed up the toilets. Someone stole a heating condenser thing, so that didn't work. So then the pipes froze and busted, so the plumbing's fucked. There's some building built on the backside with a flat roof that got totally fucked. So, like, God. I don't want to deal with that. Cold showers. 69 more days. That's got to do something about exercising. Just need programs. I need structure. The thing is, I need to do things with my hands. I need to make things. I need to entertain my mind and my hands. That's why I just go from hobby to hobby to hobby. I need to keep my mind active. Exercise does not engage my mind. I do it by myself. I have nothing to show for it at the end of the day. It's just like, it's nothing. Okay. Let's, go to sleep. Try again tomorrow. Like I could. I mean, it's like 10. Yeah. Could I exercise right now? Sure. I mean, my diet's been pretty good. I was thinking of talking to a nutritionist and be like, yo, this is everything that's in my refrigerator. What should I not be eating? But it's really, I think it's pretty darn good. Trying to say no to sugar. That makes me sad. The tile floor is looking good. Like a third of the way done.